Hey folks, I'm live now. I'm gonna be on video right now. I'm not quite up for it at this second, but I am here. I am available. The chat is open for you guys. Come on in, have a seat. Not on video right now. Ask questions. Yeah. Greetings. Hello. Hey guys. I'm just not doing video yet. I'm not quite up for it at the moment. Para, that's okay. I'm not on video right now either. Okay, so I've got a piece of tape over my, which is typical and normal for me. But it's up for you guys to chat. Helping your channel grow. Yes, you are, dear. Thank you, Derek. I appreciate that. Let me go get changed, and I wish I could do music. Not get nailed for it. Hey, Susie B. I would in a heartbeat, so you guys could have something to listen to. Anyway, give me a couple of minutes. I will be here. Anyway, or have a video or something up. But anyway, I don't have any of that. Let's see here. Plug in this. There we go with that. Yeah. Oh, come on in. Have a seat. Okay. Let's see. Put this underneath the computer so that. Okay. Might have to hit mute if I do that. Don't care to do that. Okay, so there's that. And get set up a little bit more. But at least you guys, there you are. Come on in. Have a seat. Chat away. Wasn't quite up for it earlier. I was definitely saying no way in hell as I'm doing this tonight. And then I started feeling a little bit better. I was like, okay, I am open for doing that. But I didn't get it set up soon enough. Anyway, hey Sapphire. Hey Sovereign. Hey Para. Hey Derek. Who else did I miss? I know there's a few people. I think I've got everybody already. Okay. Yeah, that over here. This is gonna be moved. So is that. That can stay. This needs to go. So is that. Okay. Oh. Wow. Oh, yeah. Okay, be right back, guys. Have a seat. lights on. Guys. What kind of lights? There we go. Well, that's better. That's doable. Hey, we've had quite a... Okay. Sit on down. Okay. Now, going on. Oh gosh, we got 8 people in here. Okay, hang on, guys. Here we go. Boom. Why is it blue and now red? Oh, whatever. Hello. Hair sticking up. Okay, I'm here. Sort of. I'm okay, Chris. I am, but I'm not. I'm out of it. I'm very, very out of it, as you can see. But I wanted to get the lights up on anyway. Okay, let me go back up into chat and see what the heck is going on. Susie? Susie, okay. Switching over to my lappy. Yeah, I understand that. Outside. I too will be listening while I catch up on Chit. Yes, I understand that. Para, Nikki, thank you for jumping online with your channel. I think a number of us have been going through withdrawal with Dave taking the week off. Yeah, I understand that. I do understand that. Yeah, you're welcome, sweetie. I talked with Dave earlier. He's enjoying his vacation. Awesome. Man deserved a break. Where it's from, no, but it's in the movie. I'm a bit rusty on mythology, but when you die, that if you put 2 coins over. I'm glad he touched on it tonight regarding Keith. It was very good. I'm super tired, but here I hear you. Awesome. I'm glad. Hey, Tim. And not commenting on that. My bottled water just spilled all over my feet. Wake up call, cold. Yeah, that'll do it. Mysteries of good to see you. Derek is watching. Hope you're doing great tonight, Tim. Always good to see you. I don't watch any of that. I don't watch regular TV anymore. I refuse to pay however much it is. I'm like, no freaking way in hell anymore. I'm done. So, but I still get to watch different shows and stuff because, order from a certain company, you get certain things. So I still get to see certain things. Yeah. So Para, I don't remember if you were in here on hello to the 9th person who came in. Yeah, I got hit with it 3 times on Saturday, once on Sunday, and then once on Tuesday. And today was a burning skin day. That was fun. Not. But I got it taken care of, and if anybody tells me, oh, it's your hormone, it's this, it's fuck you. No, it's not. I know exactly what it's from. My hormones run different than this, so. But I'm dealing with it, and it is what it is, and how it is, and all of that. So, you know, if my back could handle me taking a complete soak, I would do that instead of doing the shower thing. When I'm all, the whole reason why I'm all looking right now is because I had to cover my skin. Almost my entire body, which is a lot of skin to cover. Almost my entire body in a certain oil that I created to deal with the burning skin. And it worked. So, fuck you, asshats. Man, this is not pleasant, but, you know, you're not making me ill. Yeah, the burning skin, I know what that's from. I know the immune system. I know blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. So, and I'm documenting everything. Because if there's ever an opportunity to prove it, I'm going after you legally. And I might just bring a bunch of buddies along with me. So, but anyway. Yeah, I am too, Christine, because I am here to tell you it was really painful. This morning was very bad, and then it stopped, and then it started again, and I've had different sections. And I've even, hey, what I meant to say Ange. I was about to say Susie, and I was like, wait a minute, I've already said hello to Susie. And yeah, so I've had they went after the one on Tuesday. They went after my brainstem, and I felt it, and I yeah, that was fun. But anyway, voodoo style stuff. No, this was being hit with an energy weapon, hun. A super higher frequency that went above my my protections. So it's a direct energy weapon that I got hit with. So anyway, is in an app where I am, so I will be listening. Oh, I understand that. That's why I had the piece of tape over, because I wasn't necessarily addressed appropriately for being on video. So for the first, I don't know, 9 minutes, I wasn't. I had the piece of tape up. Time to build a Faraday cage? Yeah. If I could do what a friend of mine did, he lives in Washington State. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he lives in Washington State. He's an engineer. And he worked for the big boys, the big guns, regarding flight companies. That's all I'm going to call them. And he said that it took him, God, I'm trying to remember how long he said it took him. He started working on it, I think it was about 2 years, and he turned his entire home into a Faraday cage. No frickin' joke. Yeah, I want my own personal med bed too, Derek. Wouldn't that be nice? Seriously, that would be really frickin' nice. So, yeah, but he literally, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. To keep him safe and, whoa, I just heard an echo in my left ear. Wow. that was interesting. So anyway, yes, I have one of those as a blanket, Christine. I was given a blanket in 2019, and the person that gave it to me said it wasn't working for them, but holy crap, did it work for me? And now I need a new bed, though. I need because I'm a large woman, I need a bariatric mattress, and I've got to find a company that can actually do that, a quality company, because I'm really fussy about that kind of stuff. Called a healing bed. She ordered it through her chiropractor. Yeah, there are Nikon, Nikon, Nicor. Can't remember what my blanket is, but it's the same company I looked at for years. No, sleep beds will not. When you're dealing with a large body, large physical body, yeah, Nikon, Nikkon, Nikken. Anyway, I should remember it, but I don't. But anyway, yeah, that's yeah, I know people that have Sleep Number, but they are not. Because I'm what's called a SBBW, supersized BBW, and so until that weight continuously keeps coming down, yes, SSBBW, yes, correct. Yeah, so Susie, you would be a BBW. You're in the category of BBW. And when I was down, um, 60 pounds 2 years ago, and COVID really fucked my body over big time. And then the back injury, that the second back injury, really, I mean, it just put the weight back on, and I'm like, and that's because I couldn't do my walking. God, I was pissed off over that fucking COVID, and I was pissed off over the back injury. God, I was mad at myself. Landing, literally tripped. I nearly went through a plate glass window and landed. As I was catching myself, I lost my balance and ended up going backwards instead of forwards and landed on a pile of firewood and broke my tailbone. So yeah, that's what did me in. So the 60 pounds came back in 2 years' time, and it was because and I was doing all the right stuff, but it was because I could no longer do. I keep bumping the damn table. It was because I could no longer do the walking, and I found out that any kind of exercise, and I can actually start doing some of the walking now. I can do some of the specific kind of arm exercises now. I couldn't do it before. I've only been able to do a little bit of that in the last 6 months of the arm exercises because it was severely affecting my the muscles around my tailbone, and also triggering nerve reactions. And so anyway, it's something, don't frick it, because it's a spinal injury. You break your tailbone, I found out it's a spinal injury. I was like, it's a bone. You break the little fucking tail thing on, I mean, it's a freaking bone. No, it's actually a spinal injury. And yeah, I didn't quite believe that until about 2 months in, and that's when it hit me. in my brain was, it hit me, and I went, oh my God. Because I so didn't. It took 2 doctors and a dear friend of mine who deals in medical stuff, and wow. So yeah, I learned a hell of a lesson. And so basically, I have to be very careful. Um, Sitting is not fun. I usually have to have that tailbone section protected when I sit. Um, and foam is not an option. It's not a friend when you're plus size or SS BBW. So, yeah. Um, it's not, and for me, it's not about eating. It's I have PCOS, and I'm at the farthest end of the spectrum that any of the medical doctors have ever come across. So, and this has nothing to do with any of the woo factor. So, anyway, kind of got off on a long tangent. I do apologize. So what do you guys want to talk about tonight? I mean, you and I are all coming off of listening to Keith, and I guess a lot of a lot of the stuff you talked about. I mean, I could so freaking relate. I'd forgotten about the ferryman thing. I was like, oh, that's right. The I've never had an answer to my question about, and I'm not talking about Keith tonight. I'm talking about from anybody. And I honestly don't know. I don't remember it. That's a good question, Christine. How can I meet a loving ET? I don't think I have any star family. I don't know about the star family thing, because I'm not picking anything up. But of course, I don't got my psychic antennas out right now, as I call them. It's not what it is, but I'm not hearing anything, and I'm not really putting anything out there, mostly because my energy level's kind of on the low side right now. Although I do have my protection levels up. In other words, don't fuck with me. And I don't mean you, hon. Anyway, so hey to the 8th and 9 person coming in. You can heal the tailbone, but you will never, obviously never reconnect it. And to the 10th person, hello to the 10th. So yeah, that's a different ballgame altogether. So it's Susie, yes. Prayers for Nikki. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You'll heal the muscles, you'll heal the nerves, depending upon how it was broken, and blah blah blah. But it'll always be just there. It won't be like before. So yeah. When I had to learn all over again how to do different things. So when you have a back injury or multiple back injuries, you learn how to do things properly. And with the PCOS, if I didn't have the PCOS, I wouldn't have a fat body. I already know that. So, and it's an extreme insulin resistance issue. So, and I deal very well with it. Thank you very much. I do very well. Unfortunately, I can't get the 100 and some odd grams of protein in. 100 and God, I can't remember. I think it's like 118 grams of protein a day. Unlike between 60 and 70 grams of carbs. So, anyway, I can't keep the protein level that high. It's really freaking hard. Um, Actually, depending, okay, so Chris has said my coworker has PCOS too, and she's tall and big. Can't have kids, sadly, though. Yeah, it makes you infertile. Um, I've had that conversation, Para. I'll get back to the PCOS in a second. Para, okay, says if your size is causing issues for you, is this anything the aliens could help you with? Yes, they can. They're making choices not to. I've had numerous conversations with them. I've had yelling, I've had screaming too. I've had knockdown dragouts with them. I've had, what do you want to call it? Curl in a ball crying because they won't. Because I'm like, look, you want me alive. You've done this, this, and this, and this, and this. But give my endocrine system a boost to allow me, because I'm doing all the right things except for with the tailbone I wasn't able to do the kind of walking that and the kind of exercise I wanted to. I'm getting back into doing that again. It's not been easy. It is incredibly painful. Maybe deal with my pain, maybe deal with the endocrine system, which causes the PCOS. Well, it's part of the PCOS issue. Deal with those aspects. Help me with it. You know? No. They're being very stubborn, very staunch, I have choice words. So that's in answer to your question, Para. Yeah. I've gone rounds. A lot of rounds. I've even demanded, that's kind of like a joke. So, hello to the 11th person 10th and 11th person who's come in. So, yeah, I mean, they have done the carpal tunnel surgery on my left wrist. The humans have done carpal tunnel surgery on my right wrist. I've had the throat done. They've done the eustachian tube. They've done my heart as well. Don't ask me how I know that one. I can't even begin. I believe they've done the kidneys, but I'm not like it's like the other things I can verify in different ways for me, but like the kidneys I can't. They've done other things, so it's like, but they won't with this. So yeah, it gets very frustrating. Okay, so back to the PCOS. I don't know. I would like to know that. Pear just said, okay, so they've helped in other physical matters, so why are they drawing the line on this one? I have no freaking clue. I would like to know. Because believe me, like I said, I've done the yell, I've done the talking until I'm blue in the face. I've yelled, I've screamed, I've carried on, I've done the crying routine, and it's not crocodile tears, it's true bawling. I've done the crying, I've done everything. No, nada. I don't know what it takes. So send them to me and I'll talk to them for you, Sis Pair. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna take. It's like my body needs a boost in some way to get over a certain hurdle, and I'm like, this is it's insane. I get it. But anyway, so oh, excuse me. Hey, Debster. Hey, Deb. Welcome. Hi, sweetie. Um, Okay, going back up because I do not want to. Okay, so Christine had said, my coworker has PCOS too, and she's tall and big, can't have kids, sadly. Okay, so here's the thing about PCOS. It makes you infertile. However, if you do, depending upon what part of the PCOS spectrum you're on, and not a lot of PCOS soul sisters, SOULCYSTERS, not a lot of soul sisters, because that's what they call each other. Make the realization, depending upon how open and knowledgeable they are, about their medical status, depending upon what, yeah, good grief, excuse me. One of the things that I took for the, which I'm not discussing. Okay, so anyway, something I was dealing with earlier. Deciding to fight back. Anyway, it's all part of me taking care of myself ever since last Saturday. I was taking care of myself before that, but anyway. So the soul sisters, what if they're not aware, if a person who is a soul sister is not aware regarding the infertility aspect of it, depending upon what level they are at on the PCOS spectrum, physically humanistic wise, yes, it would make them very difficult to conceive male to female human. ETs bypass that because just before they implant, it's a totally different ball game. They they do something, I still don't know what, but I know that they do something to certain organs just before implantation. A week or 2 weeks, depends on what kind they're doing, I suppose is how you say that. Before implantation, so that your womb actually holds on and retains the baby. Now, unfortunately, in my situation, I have lost a few of the implants, the embryos that they have implanted in me. Now, that's hybrid. Human. Yes, it does make you infertile. However, there are things that you can do naturopathically. That is the only reason why I got pregnant. I mean, that and having sex. I mean, hello. In the right timing. That's, sorry, I'm out of it, and I have Bob Ross up on. They're doing a marathon on some YouTube channel, and I can watch that for weeks on end, and he's one of my go-to videos that I could watch forever, especially when I'm this out of it. So that's what you see, all the flashy in the background. It's that across my computer that I've got up right now. Anyway, so and I haven't seen chat in a while. Okay, and I've got top chat on. Oh my God, you did it again. You gotta put it on the freaking live chat, Nikki. Okay, so let me go back in here. Now we're talking about axes. Okay, so jumping in for a few minutes. Oh, okay. Oh, Shell came in. Hi, Shell. Okay, I just want to catch up. Hey, and Sandra's come in. Hey, Sandra. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's been a while since I've been called Nick. I think you did it last time, and it was the first time in a while. It's not very often I get called Nick. Anyway, hello. Okay, so regarding the PCOS, so here's the thing with it. If you go into the naturopathic methods, yes, you can conceive, but now this was in the 90s, this was between 90 and 91. If you take very specific steps in the naturopathic realm, you can get pregnant. It can prepare your body, but it takes a good year and a half. Now, that was back then. I have no idea. Sorry, I need to pop. A couple of my knuckles are starting to drive me nuts. But that's what can make the significant difference. So even though you would be classified as PCOS, you need a good gynecologist, not an OBGYN. You need a good gynecologist that specializes in PCOS. You need a good fertility specialist who's willing to work with the PCOS, the specialist, gynecologist, and also get into a naturopathic doctor who deals or is used to dealing with PCOS on a regular basis. It's a huge factor. And we didn't know I had PCOS. My naturopathic doctor suspected I had 4 other doctors that it went way over their freaking heads, which is weird because PCOS has been known back then. I found out that PCOS was known for 50 years by then. 80 years now. So, yeah, I was a little pissed off about that when I found that out. And it wasn't until like 2006 or 2005, 2006 that the young women that were in their teens by that point were actually being diagnosed. And so folks like me, I mean, I didn't get actually diagnosed. I wasn't fully formally diagnosed until like the early 2000s. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do, but I mean, I did a year and a half of hell. And it was simply to get my body healthy and not to get pregnant. It was to get my body well and healthy. And we got it well and healthy. And wow. So, then I shockingly got pregnant. So, wow. That's pretty cool. Sovereign. I saw a juvenile sea lion run fast into the water and then was jumping up and over the water like in a row. It was cool. Yeah, I use, if I make any kind of treats, 5 times faster in a row. Okay, got it. If I make any treats are made with protein, period. It's got to be extremely low carbs. It's got to be more protein and less carbohydrates. Otherwise, it don't get eaten. Everything has to be protein. Even if it's classified as a dessert, it's got to be high protein, low carb. And there's a lot of ways to do that and make it tasty as fuck. So there weren't when I first started out in 2017. High protein. Yeah, it is. Especially when you've got insulin resistance. And you don't have to be morbidly obese to have insulin resistance. I know people, there's women that I know, there's even men that I know, that have maybe 30, 40 pounds. That's not morbidly obese. That's classified as obese, but it's not morbidly obese. And they have insulin resistance, and they're once they start doing, and a lot of people do keto. Keto is, it works for some people, it doesn't work for others. Keto does not work for me. I did all the very specific kind of medical testing, and we found out a lot of stuff. So yeah, you've got to choose what works for you. That is the ugliest motherfucking tree I have ever seen in my life. Dude, what the hell are you making? Holy shitballs. I hope that turns out to be pretty. Sorry, I've never made that statement on one of his videos. Holy crap, that is... I'm not usually that critical, but oh my god. Sorry, folks. I have never had a reaction like that to any of his videos. I don't think I've ever seen this one. What? Holy shitballs? Oh, I say that all the time. I just try not to say it. Oh my god. Okay, how many levels of red are these cheeks gonna go now? You're watching a video. Yeah, see, now that's better. Bob Ross. Is it a happy tree? Yes, it's a happy tree, Sandra. It's a happy little tree on a little island. Oh, God. I kid you not. And he's leaving them brown. They look like diarrhea brown. Sorry. I am out of it. When I'm out of it, I have you think I had a mouth before, honey. Oh my god, that's nasty. Oh, please put some greenery. Oh my god, Nikki. It's a video. Let it go, girl. Oh, I have to pee. Well, then go pee. Just don't do it at your laptop or your phone. God. Make sure she's drinking water, enough protein. Around 6 grams protein and 3 carbs. Actually, 6 grams of protein and 2 carbs, 1 or 2 carbs. And that would be for me, yeah. Bob Ross is phenomenal. Yeah, he really is. I used to watch William Alexander long before a giddy Nikki. Oh, honey, you should see me when I've had alcohol. Oh, my God. Shit, frickin' Christmas. Yeah, that's always interesting. Oh, at least he's covering them up. He's got a great set of distance, and then you put that diarrhea brown up there. I'm like, what the hell? Season 13, Episode 7, Peaceful Haven. Dude, and I love this guy. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I could watch him 24/7. Yeah, we would. I'd have, yes, Deb. We'd have a blast. Oh my god. There are times I get real quiet, Bob Ross therapy. Hey, Philip. There are times where I get real quiet and just need something to listen or zone out to, and you'll get stop talking. You'll get suffered. I'll fire. I can't. It's just such an 3 trees. I've never seen him. Oh, God, I can't get over it. Sorry. I did this earlier this afternoon. I was out of it. And I saw a video where people were country line dancing to Nickelback. I don't typically react. Today must have been a day for reaction because I am here to tell you I freaking lost it. That's not normal. That's just not normal for me, guys. I was like, what the hell? Anyway, yeah, it's if I could, never mind. Anyway, favorite superhero. Well, that's a good. I don't know. That'd have to. This is how they remind you. No, it wasn't. It was. And I love. Okay, I know a lot of people don't like Nickelback. I love Nickelback. Oh God, I can't remember the name. Can't remember the name of the song. And it had me fired up, man. I'm like, that is a song you don't do country dance to. Could not believe it. Anyway, of course, I like everything from like Jim Morrison all the way to. I do like country. I'm all over the place. I didn't know people line dance to Nickelback. See my point, Philip? That's my point. It's like, no, you don't line dance to them. It's like, no. So many freaking levels of wrong. Dancing is one thing, but line dancing to that, I was just like, I always told you I lost my mind over it. I was like, this is not okay, man. It's not okay. The Door. I like everything from, like the Doors and Beatles, and although I have issues with the Beatles now because of certain things that I know, but it is what it is. Anyway, okay. I'm looking for the name of the song. I actually have to. Yeah, Nickelback. I have to look because I can't remember the freaking name of it. No, go to. Not shorts. I don't want shorts. Oh crap. Anyway. It's not Feed the Machine. It's not Get 'Em Up. It's not Satellite. Where the hell? I usually know it off the top of my head, and now it's just gone. Can't remember if it's Song on Fire. Anyway. That's what it was. It was Burn It to the Ground. They were line dancing to Nickelback's Burn It to the Ground, and I was like, no, 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 no. Dance is one thing. Country line dancing. It was like, oh, guys, no, no. And if anybody knows anything about me, you know how much I freaking love all different kinds of dance. So for me to react that way is a big freaking deal. Anyway, we'd be swinging from state to state. If I ruled the world, imagine that. Oh, dear God, what are we talking about? It's a good thing I'm not driving. Oh my God, Philip. Oh no. Okay. Anyway. I literally let out a huge loud yell. I don't do that on stuff like this. That's just not me, man. Anyway. So what you guys want to talk about? See, now that side of the painting's pretty. I don't know what the hell he did to the other side. It just stop it, Nikki. You're not so critical of things. I'm not usually like this. That's what gets me. It's just like, what the hell? Anyway. No. Give him some time. It would be smooth from state to state. Just got that. The only thing that would get me away from the pool table is. Oh, there are many things, Shell, that would get me away from a pool table. I love. Oh my god. I can't look at the other side of that painting. Oh, god. Yeah, anyway, there's a lot of things that would I would be standing there just okay, and if my back would allow me, I'd be playing pool. Love playing pool. Haven't done it in so long. Anyway, haven't been to a tavern, a bar in a long time, and I certainly haven't been to live music in a very long time. So camping, well, can't call it camping if you're in an RV, but yeah. Anyway, well, it's a different version of camping. I used to do that as a kid. My grandfather had one of the most unusual RVs. Every stranger who saw it called it the UFO RV. Not joking. I don't know if I can even find a picture of it anymore. We'll see. I think I tried to do this before, and I don't have it. I don't think I've got it on this phone anymore. Let's see. No, I'll have to check it out on Facebook, see if I got it there. Laura London? Why does that name sound familiar? Oh, God. Excuse me. Laura London. Is she the one who does horoscopes and stuff? Or tarot? Seem to know that name. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, my lovely friend. Okay, I need to not. Bunch of things I want to say to that I cannot. Especially since I'm live. Oh my god. Okay. No, not posts. I want to see photographs. Uploads. Yeah, thank you. Let's see. Where pray tell art thou? Because I posted it on Facebook. It was rather comical to me. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I'm not going to show that section. I'm not going to make that public. Hang on a second. I need to screenshot this and then crop it. Just a minute, guys. Okay, got it. Okay, so this was 1985. Let's see if I can actually get my phone. That's me in 1985, and that's the RV, and we're oh motherfucker. Hang on a minute. I hit my phone, so now we've got to do it all over. Just a minute. Where'd you go? There you are. There we go. Oh, I don't know, you get the idea. So that's me in 85. This item right here is a part of a boat launch. And we're putting a boat. Interestingly enough, it had to go off the front and not off the back. There we go. But that was known as the UFO. It had the most unusual front end on it. Thanks, Deb. If I could ever put it up, I would. Matter of fact, I might. Let's go with black. Black that out. Oh, piss. There we go. I'll post this up on. Put a copyright on it, but I'll post this up on Facebook. Yeah, I would love to see what that if somebody didn't actually scrap it. I would love to see that old thing again. I'll have to figure out how to put a copyright on it later. Anyway, I don't have the brain for that right now. But I will post it up on Son of is Hollow in here? Hey Amy. Nikki always looks like someone you wouldn't want to mess with. Oh, you saw the picture? Tim. Okay, I haven't looked. Sovereign, was the moon really blue? I don't know. You'd have to ask Robert White. He's usually the one that takes all the moon pictures. Derek is a pineapple. Really now? Actually, did look blue. I never saw the blue moon. It wasn't blue. I'm trying to think. One of the other SROs. That's what I heard. Meow. Some people post pictures of blue. I wonder if it just needs to be Photoshop filtered. No crazy blue or anything. Derek wears heel. Sovereign. So Tim birthday. Today is Tim's birthday? Okay. Hope you're doing great. I see. It's not my birthday, says Tim. Okay. I thought Tim's. Well, I'm just. Okay. Same here. It's not my birthday, Derek. Yes. Heels and a dress. Strike a pose. Vogue. Yeah. Hey, I know men that wear women's clothing and not for drag. Wear what you feel comfortable in. So, anybody watch MASH Klinger, where he wore stuff underneath his uniform? One episode, anyway. I grew up on MASH, so yeah. My birthday. It was going to be my birthday, but I decided to give it to Shell. 10 more days until my birthday. Oh! Well, if I forget to say it on the day of, because that has been my life lately, the last month, I have forgotten a lot of people's birthdays, and heartfelt, I hope they all had wonderful birthdays. So, Philip, I wish you an early happy birthday. Trying to hook up my guitar. You got your guitar back. You got your guitar. Dude, that's awesome. I think we have thousands of lives every day, and it's yours at midnight tonight, Deb? Well, that's in 4 minutes. Happy birthday. I don't know if you want me singing happy birthday. We'll try. You might want to hold your ears. 13 in chat. Everyone say hello. Okay. It's easier to be clear. Okay, wait a minute. Son of Nikki at hello FMJ. Yes. You're doing great tonight. See, I didn't see him. Oh, there you are. Hello, son. Love you. Turn the brightness down and refresh, please. Be easier to see clearly. Yeah. Did you just get off work? What's the code? Pineapple Man. What's the code? Pineapple Man. BDSM. Tell me now. Nuh-uh. Yeah. Comments. Oh my God, I don't need to know that, Derek. Juicy God. Oh my God. Klinger from Toledo, and I go to Tony Paco sometimes. Do you? I didn't even know that was a real thing. Agent Susie, keep secrets from me. But I wear men's clothes when I go there. I saw a pineapple doggy. Did it? Oh my God! Did you really? Yeah, I've got a few seasons of MASH. I love MASH. Yeah, you're very welcome, Philip. Birthday spankings. I can't do better. Did someone say birthday spankings? Yes, please. Yeah, right partner. The word is bazinga. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we lived. My son grew up with the Golden Girls, MASH, a couple of others. So, and then we have the Big Bang Theory, which our family just dearly loved, which of course is the bazinga. I was wondering, stupid crazy days at work. Yeah, I can tell this live is about to get very interesting. Oh, honey, you haven't even begun to see interesting and how interesting I could be. Oh, God. Anyway, Para, when is the last time you were visited or taken by our... Oh, gotta think of what week it is right now. Hang on a second. I gotta look at my calendar. I usually write it into my calendar. We're on the set. Oh, technically. Oh, happy birthday. August. Okay. Last week. There's a question mark next to it. I couldn't define it as for sure, but I thought so. Yeah, I do too. I miss Big Bang Theory as well. Time before that, I haven't been taken in months. Many, many months. So it had been a while. So I hope that answers your question, my dear. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, God, she's going to do it. Nope, I guess we're not. There are always more questions. Yes, Para, I know. Lots and lots of questions. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, I do, Para. Para's asking any idea why they came to see you. Had to do with my health. And also had to do with a checkup. Couldn't think of the words to put together to condense it down, but basically part of it was a checkup. Another part of it was fixing their device. Another one was well, no. I didn't write down so it would have been, what day was it that I showed you guys the bruise? The triangular bruise on the inner of my left arm. So it would have been Thursday or Friday of that week. Wednesday, Thursday, no, would have been Thursday. Would have been Thursday of that week. I didn't write that one down. And the bruise is no longer there, but the semi-triangle is partially there, but it's so difficult to see, and I didn't bother with pictures. I should have. But it's on video, so you can see it there. So it's the Thursday of that week. I really do need to put that in. But the week before that, I was taken. Because I ended up with something behind my ear. Anyway, and now that's gone. So it's just how it is. All right. Yeah, I'm known for my cakes. I used to get very well known with the teenagers and the parents of those teenagers. My kid could tell you. I used to make, in the month of January alone, I used to make 7 cakes. And all of them, they started out, they didn't start out, but I think I only had 1 or 2 cakes that were 8. One was 8 inches, one was 9 inches, but the rest were 10 inches in diameter. That's this big of a cake. Okay. That's a 10-inch cake round. And each cake layer was that thick. So by the time it was said and done, with the frosting, with the filling, they were 7.5-inch cakes. So, and I was very, very, very well known for the cakes. So much so that I was getting asked to do weddings. And I'm like, oh, no. No. So I will say it's interesting what one show. We're all a bit goofy tonight. This is interesting. We'll say it's interesting what one likes when given the circumstances. Odd. Yeah, well, I mean, I've got. Oh, that's much better. Oh my God, that's a much better picture. The wedding, so yeah. Oh. Oh dear, you'll never have what recipe again, Deb? And if you hear, that's I-5 near me. Well, it's not that far away from me, but it's far enough that I should not be hearing that. But somebody's drag racing on I-5. I know what that sound is. I heard that traffic. Yeah, that is somebody. That is specifically somebody with a diesel engine, and they are flying. They've got to be doing at least 90, if not 100 miles an hour, up I-5. You should not be able to hear that. Every once in a while, you'll hear an accident, and it's because it's quiet out right now, and you hit. It's like a not a cave. It's like a little mini valley where I'm at regarding sound. So, Sandra, I can't do 55 on I-5. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, in Seattle, it's 55 and 60. Well, and it's 55, but once you start getting towards the outside of different sections of Seattle, then it's 60. Then eventually it goes up to 70 once you hit outside of like Marysville. So, sounded like a dinosaur. How far are you from Bigfoot, Michigan? Okay. Are you close to a road that goes towards Whidbey Island? No. No, I'm just outside of Seattle. Well, no, I'm not. Yes, I am. Well, beg to differ. It's just anyway. So. Oh, he's in Pickford. I didn't realize he was in Pickford. So I'm like on the border. Anyway, but I-5 is not very far from me at all. I was there in 99, Whidbey Island, visiting a friend. I love Whidbey Island. When I was a teenager and lived in the Skagit Valley, wow, I just got told not to say something. I was about to say something, and I just literally got told not to say something. And I'm being told right now it'll be used against me. Again, how can that be used against me? Oh, for fuck's sake. Whatever. Anyway, so I used to live up in the Skagit Valley, and as a teenager, used to go to Whidbey Island all the time. Used to have friends whose family members were on the base and all of that. I hate tofu. I know. Oh my God. Their family member was in chat yesterday. Go into, was it yesterday's chat? Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Go in and take a look. And you'll see about halfway in. It's somewhere around, because I think that's like a 4.5 hour live. Go in at 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. Look in at 3 hours and scroll down, and you will see they're in the chat. Yeah. Oh, behind in the stream. I don't know. I just saw the tofu thing, so I don't know how far. Oh my god, I hit a button. That's not so smart. Now I know what I did. Okay. Good griefs. That's interesting. Cool island, thick pine tree forest. Yeah, it depends on where you go, Sovereign. If you're talking about Whidbey, there are certain sections of Whidbey that are just truly beautiful. Truly, truly, truly beautiful. Some of my favorite places are on Whidbey Island. Trip Island, Emerald City, yes, Seattle. So the next time my pops asks me to work on his computer, I replace every Windows sound with a sound. Not until I left, to me at least. Him, not so much. Oh my God, Shell, you didn't. That's funny. Are you sure it's not Pickford and not Pickney? Pickford is in the up near Sault Ste. Marie. Yeah. Yes, 20 minutes from Canada. Really, Derek? Funny. Vashon Island too. Yes, Vashon. Okay, so my son is Phillips. It's Phillips' birthday hollow. And brain fart going now. How many lashings? Okay, so Philip, Vashon Island, and this is what I was going to say before. My son won't know this, but, well, he may have heard me talking about it. But my grandfather, his great-grandfather, and my step-grandmother, they used to own property on Vashon Island. And so my mom and I would go there periodically, and oh my God, the views they had. It was a little white house. It had 2 bedrooms, if I remember correctly. I remember the living room the most than I do the bedrooms and the bathroom. And it was September 11th. Yeah. I think we went to, sorry, I just popped this thing. Anyway, it's gorgeous. Drive forever, it felt like. But yeah, they had a cliff. Deb's birthday. Thank you, Susie. They had a cliff house, basically, and you drove down this. You drove down the main road of Vashon, and I can't remember if the property was on the left or the right. But you'd pull in, and once you're pulling down the driveway, you'd go through, I don't know, maybe 800,000 feet of nothing but trees and gravel dirt road. And it would open up off to the right with this gigantic lawn. It had to have been at least a full acre of nothing but green grass growing, a lawn, and a couple of, I want to say cherry trees, but it wasn't cherry trees. It was something else. I just can't remember what fruit. And it was completely framed by fir trees. And you'd get down and you'd start, and it wasn't like a steep inclined hill, like or a steep hill going down. It was a gradual descent going down into it. And they didn't make riding lawnmowers back then, or at least they didn't. So my grandfather had to mow everything, walking, and it was quite the time of it. It's the first thing he'd do when he'd go there. They'd get there and he'd start working on the lawn to get the lawn cut from, yay high down to, and lower. Used to take him 2 to 3 days to get it all cut. And then you pull in into the front area of the house, and you'd walk into the house, and the view, oh my God, the view. It overlooked the water, and you'd have these like trees that would be like this. So you didn't see a whole lot of water from the yard, the side yard, but in the house it was, oh my God, it was gorgeous. I never remember why they sold the house, but they had that for years and years and years, and then eventually sold the house and bought property over on, individually they bought property over Camano Island, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was a number of years later before they bought property on Camano. So, but it was beautiful. God, I remember growing up around that, and I mean, you talk about a party. I mean, that's the kind of property where you have your family come, and it would be camping, camping on the property type of thing. So, God, it was gorgeous. Let's see, and I got a spot in my head, in my brain that hurts, like right there. Ever since I got nailed on Saturday. Had brainstem issues. I've had different. Anyway, so some Sasquatch posted video. Oh, Sasquatcher. Okay. That's not what I read. Oh, okay. Some people's children. Southern Michigan. Are there hills in Michigan? How tall? Okay. Oh, cool. See, I'm learning about the country. I didn't know some of this. I did. Not a clue. The more, dun dun dun, the more you know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, he did an extensive amount of work on that property. He's 79 years old. No, he's not. Anyway, that would be cool if Yeah, it would. Anyway. Oh, the Merino commercial is an old-ass commercial. Yes, it is. But there are things that he knows for reasons. Very good reasons, in fact. Anyhow, what do you guys want to discuss, talk about? Or do you just want to chat for a while? Which is fine. It's kind of what this is all about. It's for you guys. Sleeping Bear Dunes. Really? Look up Sleeping Bear Dunes. Oh, fascinating. Okay. Hour and 27 minutes. 13 in chat. A lot of lurkers. Oh, God. Excuse me. A lot of lurkers. 45 minutes south of Georgia. Oh, that's right. Have catalog so Pickford doesn't seem to fit. Okay, got it. Hello. Hello's on. Somebody's saying hello to you, Hollow. Just. From Georgia, not much more to Alabama. I miss it so much. Yeah. I used to know folks that lived in Florida that moved to Oh, cool, Sandra. So, in other words, who or what did she see? Who is Baby G? Lullaby and good night. That's a very horrible voice right now. Anyway, like she was surprised. Yeah. Yeah. See, I wasn't going to say it. That's not my, I'm not going to out that one. So. Lullaby and good night. Yeah. I'll check in tomorrow night if I'm free. Have a great weekend, guys. Love y'all. Good night, Deb. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. She's Baby G. Yeah. Right on, Sandra. Just running around the Popper Creek all day and night, but no one took 2 steps toward the creek and stopped. Bad feeling. Return next morning, fresh Panther tracks. Holy shit balls. Panther tracks, those are fun. Good night, sweetie. Yeah, take care of yourself, hon. And it was so dark that night, literally couldn't see my hand in front of my face. Good night, Amy. Have a spanking time, Debster. Mountain lions are killer. Yeah, they can be. I saw a video. Very well known YouTuber. I can't think of the channel name. And they're known for showing woo factor to the extreme. I don't usually watch them, but every once in a while they'll post something that's rather interesting, and up popped a video of this guy where he was, they reposted it basically. And it was this guy and his teenage son who have been stalked. They've got property, and they couldn't figure out what was killing their livestock, whether it was chickens or goats or whatever else they had, or when they'd go hunting, it would stalk them. Couldn't figure out what it was. And the guy got a video of, so they were showing different clips of it, and the guy got a video of these eyes that looked like they were about 11 feet tall. And I went, something's not right here. And I looked at the video, and I went, that's a tree next to, or not very far from those eyes. And I looked at it and I went, well, screw this, I'm going to take a screenshot. And it took 4 screenshots before I got, because the video is moving, the guy's panning. And the thing is that there was obviously a dog, or a cat. I couldn't tell if it was a dog or if it was a cat that was asleep. So there's like a driveway, a patch of grass, and his animal is all kind of stretched out and curled up at the same time. And then off in the distance, there's this tree off to the left. And so as he's panning, and you're still seeing the eyes, and the eyes are glowing. And I'm like, something's off. I can't put my finger on it, but something's off. And sure enough, he caught it. But you can't see it in the video unless you screenshot, unless you do screenshots. And I did 4 screenshots, and I blew each one up, and I'm like, no, crap. And on the 4th one, I went, I'll be damned, I got it. And you can't see exactly what it is, but you can tell that it's long and black, and it's perched on, and it's big. Whatever it is, it's big. And it's perched on a tree branch. The tree that's in the farthest end of the foreground, and off to the left side. And the eyes, what I had gotten in the second to last screenshot I did was that during the guy panning, the head of whatever it was moved down and had looked up and had moved down. And so in these two, and I went, it's still shit. But bear spray and firearms, that's what I kept saying. I was like, the guy needs to have freaking shotgun with him. I mean, he's on his own property. I don't know where the hell the property was, but it looked like a very large piece of property. From what little you could see of it, that was the feel of it. And sorry, I've got oil everywhere, and it's starting to itch because I need to go in and shower and get it all off and lather myself in this oil again, because I don't like having my skin burn. Anyway, who would? So basically, whatever it was perched in a tree, and it was big enough to where you could see in the last screenshot that I got, you could see the tree branch going quite the distance. And I mean, this was a big tree to begin with, but it looked like it was about 10 feet off the ground. And this lowest branch looked like it was about 10 feet off the ground at that distance. I'm assuming that's about what it would be. And I think when the animal's eyes and head went up and then back down, I think it was stalking not just the guy, but also the animal down on the ground. So, I mean, I kept thinking cat. Very large cat. Good night, Amy. I hope I did say good night to you. Like a cougar or a mountain lion or a panther or a jaguar, wherever this guy was, because there was no name as to where. So yeah, it's just it was like, wow. Yes, there are very seldom 90-degree or sharp angles that are plants. No shit. Oh, okay, Amy. I thought. Oh, okay. I'm still here as long as the show is on. So, Black Panther in Western Palm Beach County. Really? Yeah, panthers. And what I kept feeling was that whatever, it had a very long tail, long thick tail, and that's what I was seeing on the end of the tree. I don't know, whatever it was not like a Sasquatch. It was an animal. It wasn't a cryptid. It wasn't a woo-woo factor. But I can totally understand. You get something like that tracking you and hunting you. You're the prey. I mean, they're hunting for food, man. Um, yeah, they have very long food or very long tails, says Shell. Um, no, mountain lions aren't black. They have a tendency to be um, brown, taupe color, tan color, low profile cat. Yes. And it was hunkered down. I mean, it's really hunkered down on the branch. I mean, it was like completely spread out. And I was like, I've seen cats do some really, I mean, like wild cats, because I used to want to be a wildlife photographer for um, National Geographic, and so I used to study. Um, yes, Para answered to your question. Yes. Um, yeah. Wow. Jaguars and panthers. Yeah, it gets really, really rather interesting. Bobcats. Yeah, bobcats. This was not. This was bigger than a bobcat. So whatever it was in the tree and it was stalking and hunting them. And I was like, damn, man. Wow. So anyway, somebody else's video, but definitely was not woo. But I can understand why. I can understand why they considered it woo. Because they got the glare of those eyes. Wow. Very specific color, too. Anyway. Okay, so Para's asking, have you ever seen or been in contact here on Earth with someone you also saw on a UFO? Yeah. Um, two people. Well, I haven't been in contact with the second person, but I know who they are. They're on a show. I recognize them. I told the host, and I don't know, I'm assuming the host told the person. And I haven't reached out to the person yet, although I will eventually. But yeah, there's one person that I met in 2018. Um, they're very different now. I have no respect for them. I did my grieving for them. So, ouch. Tailbone. And hips. Ouch. So there's your answer to that. What? Uh, okay, we're talking about different kinds of Jaguar and... Okay. Panther distinctively different. Cougars kill less than 1 human a year, whereas flesh-eating bacteria kill 10 or more people a year. Good God, didn't know that, Philip. That's actually really interesting. Thank you for the fun fact. Yeah, Hollow does his research. So, random factoid: a panther that was thought to be extinct has now been confirmed alive and breeding. I don't remember the name or location, but still, yeah, I can totally understand that. Philip, a total of, okay, and this is a quote that he's typed up, a total of 126 attacks, 27 of which were fatal, have been documented in North America in the past 100 years, end quote. Wow, that's huge. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Alive and breeding, yep. But also listening, and I'm not very good at knowing what to say when grieving happens. Yeah, I can relate to that show. Mosquitoes kill more people annually than any other mammal. Yeah, Nikki, remember when school trip about the mountain lion, me and 2 others? Oh God, yeah, or the bear. Oh my God, came back from that trip. Yeah, we had words about that. You guys were taught when you were young teenagers, and you were taught how to be out in the wild. That was quite the event. Rites of passage. Go take care of yourself, crazy lady. I love you. Yeah, I will eventually. Oh, I know, remember. Sandra, Vancouver Island has the highest concentration of cougars in North. Oh my God, I didn't know that. Really, Sandra? Holy sh! Did not know that. Um. Oh, finally, elbow popped. Oh, finally. I've been waiting for that for a couple of days. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, double jointed on almost everything. So, sorry for the snap, crackle, pop. Just make sure you thoroughly cook your bear meat. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. I know. They also call that place Ape Island. Hey, Jazzy. Planet Jazzy. Hi, Nikki. Almost home. We'll pick up when they're... Okay. Sounds like a plan. Tell him I said hello, dear. Don't know if maybe you were with someone you could have filled you in the house. I wonder what really happened at Susie B. Yeah, Sovereign. Um, okay, we'll do. I think if they are calling Vancouver Island Ape Island, it's because of the Sasquatch. Hello, which bear? Which bear? There was, okay, so there was a bear that you in the class, something about you in the class. I can't remember if you were with the class or not, or if you and, oh man, I can't think of this kid's name. I can't think of his name. He's on my Facebook page too. I cannot think of his name. Anyway, you guys were either in camp or on the hike, and I can't remember which, because the guys on the hike saw the black bear. Munching and crunching the berries of the year. Anyway, I'm babbling. Whatever it was, clearly. Oh God, don't get him started, Joe. Not sure how many Sasquatch there are here. Yeah, there are quite a few Sasquatch, Sandra, that I know. I've talked to a lot of people who have talked about their experiences on Vancouver Island with the Sasquatch. There's quite a population of them, which really surprises me because Vancouver Island is a big island, but it's also a small island in the grand scheme of things, and that's mind-boggling to me. So I'm wondering if they come and go via portals, if they're a clan come from two different clans of Sasquatch, dealing. Oh, I don't want to think about that. Oh, that's disgusting. Ugh. R.E. the W thingy. Oh, yuck. Yeah, but see, Sovereign, there's quite a human population on Vancouver Island. So, um, that's why it surprises me so much. Don't pet the Sasquatch. Yeah. Also, bears and wolves. Yes, I forgot about that. Quite a population of bears. I didn't realize the wolves, but as in which bear encounter? Yes, that's what I was saying. I thought you had two. Hollow Sasquatches on island are a thing. Portals and swimming if necessary. Yeah. Well, okay, so, and that's the thing that I found out, Sovereign, is that not all Sasquatch swim. Some do, some don't. Yeah, I'd like to visit Vancouver again at some point in my life. A lot of beautiful stuff up there. Yep, I agree, Sandra. And there's quite the oh God, I can't think of the name of it. I'll have to go look. Hang on 1 second. Let's go over. Oh, I didn't mean to hit studio. Oh, piss, oh, Rama. Go to my channel because I'm searching for a specific thing. And of course, now because I've done that, I don't remember what the frick I'm looking for. Hang on 1 second. Oh, bugger to beads. Coastal wolves up here where I am currently in the. Okay. It's true. Vancouver has most of the land bought up privately now, less exploring, or is only from the perspective of someone who was always in the woods. Huh, interesting. Canada stand is on my bucket list. Oh, that's an interesting way to say things. Okay, so, mountains here are mysterious. Yeah, I remember you talking about that hollow. It was very different. Oh my God, when you guys came back. Oh. Yeah, we had to have the windows rolled down. That was. Thank God for Odo Ban, for the clothes. Oh my God. I was so thankful for Odo Ban. Odo Ban was a lifesaver. I kid you not, that is the only thing that saved the clothing. Yeah, that was some expensive clothing too, but it held up. It was impressive. Um, yeah, take care of that a bit. Finally, got at least one of them to pop. Oh, not the newborn. Sorry, not the newborn. Yeah, see, I'm starting to itch again. Ton of untagged ones, really. 30 people essentially killed by them here in North America. Some of the Cougars in Los Angeles have trackers on them. Yeah, I've heard about that. Just responding to the chat. Bum-ba-dee-da. Bum-ba-da-dee-dee-doo. Oh, I should have asked her where she was at. Or, I mean, how many minutes away is what I should have said. Oh my God. Oh, just realized. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, guys. Just watching chat. Yeah, I'm all oiled up. Everything is all. I gotta get this oil off of me. Well, I mean, out of my hair, out of my face. Ugh. Get a good scrub down. At least I have countermeasures. That's important. We have a rock around here behind the mountain they call Spaceship Rock. I haven't seen it yet. Really? Spaceship Rock. Well, anything like I used to have a memory of a past lifetime, and it was in Arizona, and Hallelujah Mountains. From the movie. Well, there's a which movie? Anyway, most people know what movie I'm talking about. And from this one lifetime, there was a set of mountains in Arizona we used to call um, a specific name, and I went to look up the name, and I'll be damned if they're not still calling them that same name that I called them in a past lifetime. I was like, holy crap. And it just, yeah, 8th grade. Yeah. Yep. Superstition Mountains. Yes, Susie. Um, really, Philip? No, it was the Superstition Mountains. Um, yeah, that's where. Well, a couple hundred years ago, when I lived there, before major cities, not too far from me in Phoenix, yeah. Um, yeah, east of you. It's east of Phoenix. In the Superstition Mountains 200 years ago, there were certain things that I remember. One of them was surviving on what we would now call creek water, but it wasn't really from the creek, so to speak. It was coming directly through, it was like a mountain spring. Um, there were sections, and I haven't been back there. That's actually on my bucket list, is to go back through those mountains again and see what has changed and what has not. Because I know who I was in that lifetime. I know where I was born. And the funny thing is none of the history books has where I was born, and I will not say it publicly. You can ask me till I'm blue in the face. I'm not going to tell anybody. I know who my siblings were. Why sovereign are the Superstition Mountains a no-go? Do tell. I'm out in the channeled scablands of eastern Washington, 200 miles east of Seattle. I've seen hundreds of cougar and bobcat tracks, but I've never seen a cougar or bobcat. How many days old are they, Philip? I used to see a lot of rattlers when I was over there. Oh, I hate rattlers. Used to do a lot of my college professional or beginning professional photography over there. Sovereign, many videos on TV and YouTube advise against it. Even David Paulides, many missing people and also found mutilated. Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't have any psychic information on this, so I'm just saying it would not surprise me about certain things about those mountains. There were things going on even in my day, in that lifetime. And everything from ET to things that were not off-worlders. And there were areas you stayed away from for damn good reason. And once again, those are things that I will not talk about public. Certain things of those that I will not talk about publicly. And it's funny because I'll go and look up what I know to see if any of it is online. Haven't found any of it. And I'm like, wow, I would love to meet others who have memories of 200 years ago. Hang on a minute. I gotta in that area. Oops. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, between 200 years ago and 150 to 200 years ago in that area. So, there used, how do I say this? There used to be, depends on what we would now call giants. Used to be some pretty tall humans. Yes. Anyway, what an interesting topic of conversation. Since on her, I would imagine not alerted to human being there as much since on the horse. Yes and no. Yes, it's extremely rural. It's so rural, in fact, Shell, at least back in that time, it was so rural. It was so wild and wilderness. and so very much like desert, but in mountains. It was, and trees were there, but they were still sparse in some fashion or form. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to be making this too much longer. Stuff's starting to really bother me. Yeah, it just, you just need to stay away from certain areas, even on horseback. You walked until you couldn't. You set camp a specific way. Um, yeah, that's because, well, okay. Little desert trees. Yeah, it's a different kind of tree in certain areas there. You had different section that had actual trees, and you had a lot of section that didn't. Nope. Hit the metal on here. That's the only thing that made a sound. Work the west rim of the Grand Canyon. How so? That sounds interesting. Dang echo, hearing sovereign. I heard a growl. Might have been my stomach when I took a drink. It wasn't anything else. I was just going to say, although there was a sound that was off of the door too. So there's that as a possibility. Um, Yikes, Shell. People think beaches and stuff. Okay, where that must be a second. Beaches and stuff. My buddy was 30 feet, feeling like face to face from Bigfoot in Everglades. Stopped on a swamp buggy looking at each other in 2008. Wow. It's okay, we all grow like that. Yeah, and my throat's getting raspy, and it's just because I've talked too much. I've talked too long. And I'm tired. That's how I learned to make mace in the face and saber. Yeah, I can understand that, Susie. Not fun, yeah. It's his story. We can wrap up if you want. No, actually, it's not a matter of eating tonight. It's a matter of I'm very tired. Mace is like jalapeno perfume, not so bad. Now, Hollow knows quite a bit about mace and pepper sprays and a bunch of things like that. He's actually the one who got me some of my very strong sprays for, because I used to Brentford. I used to be a pedestrian all over the place, and that was one of the ways to protect yourself. So we had training for it. Yeah, I can understand that. Have a good night, Para. I can honestly say I probably won't be on tomorrow night, and I probably won't be on Sunday night. So you can expect me to be on Wednesday night again. Back to the normal routine. So I'd be very surprised if I were on Sunday. I mean, very surprised. It's a possibility, but honestly, I don't think it'll happen. So, take good care, Para. Sleep well. So fun. Bear are pretty common down here too. Who'd have thunk? Yeah. Sleep well. Yeah. We sprayed you. Yeah. Bye, birthday girl. You know, that's pretty. I have to figure out which channel this is. Is it the Bob Ross channel? It is. It's the Bob Ross channel. Labor Day weekend. Oh my God, go back to that. Wait, Labor Day weekend marathon. The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross. Yeah. Okay. Check it out. If you need something just to kind of zone you out, those paintings are just phenomenal. So it's funny because he teaches a much faster version. I learned old school style Bob Ross on YouTube. Yeah. Bob Ross on YouTube. If I could, I don't know. Let me see if I can post B.O.B. Ross painting. Yep. Here's his live. What is going on right now? Wow, I don't want to hear the sound. Thank you. Share. Whoops, wrong way. Bob Ross. There you go. For Hard Hill. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Bob Ross. I'm a huge art fan. I like art in almost every form there is, and so I love sports. I'm very much into specific kinds of sports. I do enjoy football. I'll watch baseball once in a while. Party pooper Paramore. um, yeah. See, this is all because of the oil. Because I had to deal with my skin. So I'm a huge Art Bell fan. Yeah, I can understand why. Totally. You already subbed to Eric RES4, but the link from the last live was not active. Really? Well, now fancy that. Let's find out what the hell is going on. Thank you for the info. Come on, pop yourself on up. Attic. All right. Okay, I got Second Avenue screaming through my head. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Okay, here we have that. We have this. That's to the last show. Yeah, Nikki needs a massage. I do. I need my legs worked on and my feet worked on. And then we'll go for the rest. Get your fingers and palms ready. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fighting it. It's funny because my kid does the same thing. Ouchie on that. Yeah. So I'm an oddball. Not one sport I have ever participated in or anything about. Yeah, I used to play baseball when I was in elementary school, and then I was better at baseball than I was at soccer, although I loved soccer. Couldn't do the running. Uh, Too big on the tits. Um, wasn't fast enough for it. Wasn't agile enough for it. But I was much better at baseball, the hand-eye coordination, the crack of that bat with the ball. Oh my God, that was my thing. Loved gymnastics. Um, Unless you consider chess to be a sport, yeah, they might very well. They have chess as an Olympic sport. Um, so loved gymnastics. Got into that big time as a kid. Um, Probably if we had had money, I probably would have. And mom had the ability to financially do it. I probably would have been in gymnastics, hardcore, big time. Um, so um, I was into ice skating and ice sports and things like that. I was really pissed off as a 10-year-old kid that they didn't allow hockey for girls. God, I was pissed off over that. I was really pissed off over that as a kid. So I was stuck with figure skating. I sucked at figure skating. They wouldn't allow girls to rent hockey skates. Um, and the only way to do it is if you bought your own. That wasn't happening. Couldn't afford it. So got into volleyball. Um, Not for very long. Boobs got in the way. That one. Um, and I actually I wasn't too bad at it. So, but baseball was my thing. I was a better batter than I was anything else. Um, but gymnastics, God, I loved gymnastics. So, but my thing now has become um, pool. Love pool, which is a different kind of situation. So, anyway. Yeah, I didn't have anything like that. So I had, we used to go to the high school football games, mostly because I was in marching band. Oh, and that sucked. Um, well, band didn't, but me practicing and playing, oh God, I was awful. I have no problem in saying that. I was awful. Um, so, and I know people that would agree with me. But I loved playing. I would have much rather have played guitar or piano, but I had a horrific piano teacher when I was 7 and 8 years old. Horrific. Oh my God. I teach children all the time. I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, you weren't taking the fucking time. You expected instantaneous. That's what was wrong. So you got the wrong teacher. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was really nasty. So I ended up not learning that. That and he used to slam my fingers into the piano keys, you know. And then he used um, a lot of derogatory terms. So, anyway. Oh God, I don't remember. Honestly, I do not. I remember what he looks like, but he was tall and thin. Um, so ouch. That was in Seattle. I was learning when I was in Seattle. He was a real piece of work. No, it sounds like he doesn't know how to teach children. And there are some people that have no freaking business teaching children whatsoever. But you got to remember, this was the 70s. People did things very, very differently. I had a daycare provider who never should have had been teaching children shit. She used to call certain, including me, she used to call certain uh, clients stupid, and there were names. There were really, really nasty names. And she had, what was it, 5 kids of her own? So, yeah, she had no business having kids, let alone having other people's children to take care of. So, yeah. Anyway. Ouch. Fun and percussion. Still had a blast, but kind of wish they got a chance. Got to catch me in action a couple of times. Oh yeah, we had concerts when I was in junior high. We had so I started playing in playing my instrument in junior high, and we had concerts. My mom was at every concert, man. Oh my God. There was a concert we were doing, and the girls had to be dressed in black velvet or velveteen skirts, full length to the floor, black shoes, dress shoes dress shoes for both girls and boys, and white blouses, long sleeve blouses that went up to the neck and went down to the wrist. And it had to be button up. So, and by the time I got into marching band, my instructor, I used to get yelled at for, and it's the only time he ever yelled at me. I used to get yelled at for wearing, oh God, what were they? It was a certain kind of glasses in my certain side of lenses in my glasses. And they automatically, when the sun came out, when you had bright light coming out, photograys. They were the very first form of photograys, and it would piss him off every freaking time the sun came out. I looked like I was wearing sunglasses. It wasn't. I was wearing glasses that had brand new lenses that were called photograys back then. I don't know what the hell they call them now. I don't know if they still call them photograys or not, but this was the 80s, and I am here to tell you he was not a happy camper. So, transitions, yes. Yeah. That may have been it. Photograys that were called transitions back in the 80s, yeah. So, that made things interesting. Anyway, tonight's been a weird night. Not the puffy sleeves like Seinfeld. No, not that bad. Oh my God, not that bad. Oh my God, so not that bad. Close, but not that bad. No, that was a pirate's. That was a pirate shirt. We were not allowed to wear anything like that. Oh, I wasn't one of the cool girls. Let's put it that way, Shell. Although when I was 16, I looked like I was about 26 to 28. So try having. Okay, now here's a story. Try being 14 years old, looking like you're 21 to 24 years old. You have a father who's technically retired Air Force, although you didn't know that at the time. And your grandfather's Coast Guard. You're living in a very rural area, and your father's in town out of state. And your grandfather wants to take both you and his son to the Coast Guard thing in Seattle. I can't museum in Seattle, because there are certain things that he wants to discuss with us as a family. And I got a free tour of one of the Coast Guard cutters. I think I've told this story before publicly. Oh my God. My father embarrassed the living shit out of me. And to be quite honest, God, I was pissed at him for years after this. But as a parent, I look back on this and I'm like, rightly so, Dad, you did a great job. But damn, was I pissed. Because I was, I looked good. I looked good. I wore a specific kind of high heels almost all the time. Loved candies, but candies never stayed on my feet. So I wore something similar to them. They weren't knock me down, blank me shoes, let's put it that way, but because my mother would never allow that. But I was always in heels. I wore skirts, or I wore specific kinds of pants. I was never allowed, and I had quite a bust even at 14. I was very well developed at an early age, and I had a walk. And so imagine this young one walking up the gangplank, turning guys' heads, adult men's heads, not knowing that I'm a teenager. Looks are deceiving, folks. They're very fucking deceiving. It's funny, but it's not. I mean, as a parent, I would be, I mean, I'm very thankful I had a boy this time around. Human boy. I don't know what I would have done if I had a girl, because the wolf comes out at night, you know, that old saying. Well, whoo. Yeah. I think my mom did really well with me, but I gotta say, and my dad had a hand in raising his stepdaughter. So, and I think he did really well with her. So, or at least I hope and pray so. She's a neat woman now. So, anyway, so we're walking up the gangplank. Yes, Black Dragon. Ah, the good old days, Nikki. Yeah, yeah. So we're walking up the gangplank. I'm not thinking anything other than I don't want to break my heels on this damn gangplank. And it's a long freaking stretch up this. I mean, it's designed to, so my calves were dying by the time I got up. And I'm going around the entire ship. You're going up and down. I mean, if I could have, I would have put my legs over and slid down the damn things instead of having to go up and go down the ladders, because they had specific kind of ladders on the ship. And I later found out that it went across a good portion of the ship that there was a female on board. and basically, as we were leaving, and I loved the ship, I had a lot of fun in heels. I had a lot of fun in heels. Had a lot of fun in heels until I broke a pair of heels getting off of a bus. That was not fun. Never wear wooden heels on a bus. That's what I learned from that one anyway. So I'm coming off the gangplank, get off at the bottom, and something instinctively told me, yeah, female on deck. I wasn't going to say that, Black Dragon. And that was a pretty big Coast Guard cutter. That was a very big ship. I mean, we walked from literally stem to stern, and from one side to another, port to bow. So it was quite the brings back memories. Yeah, I bet it does. And so we walked. I get done. I take one step off, and I felt like I was being watched. And I take another 2 steps, and that was when I stop and I turn around. And I'm like, there were a couple of guys. There was one guy at the back, well, far back, but there was one guy at the back peeking over, and then 2 guys at the front. And I just turn around and I smile and just keep walking. And my dad's quite a distance ahead of me. Yes, I know. Of course, I didn't understand. Well, I understood, but not to that degree at that age. And I'm trying to remember what month this was. I don't remember what month, and I don't remember if we signed in. That's the other thing, because you had to sign in. Anytime you went on base, you had to sign in, even if you had a minor with you. And I cannot remember. And this was like signing in on base, and I cannot remember. I can't remember if I signed the guest registry at the museum or if I signed in the... I can't remember. It's been too long. And it's funny because I've got photographic memories, but I can't seem to pull out that specific memory right now. I think it's just too far buried. It was so innocuous that I didn't think anything of it. And I start doing a quick trot trying to catch, because my dad was tall. My dad was 6'1", somewhere between 5'11" and 6'1". I can't remember right this second. And he was quite a distance ahead of me, because I mean he's used to this kind of stuff. I wasn't. And so he's quite a distance ahead of me. And I end up trying to do a quick trot to catch up to him. He disappeared for a moment. I am talking about your grandfather. Your pheromones were awaiting. Yeah. Well, that, and I was wearing perfume. So between me sweating and the perfume, and yeah, you're right, Shell, it was the pheromones. That, and I had been, God, I hadn't thought about this until just now, but I had been ET pregnant earlier in the year. Because this was around, it was towards the end of the year. So the beginning of the year, I had been ET pregnant. Because I was 14. Oh, that's a trip, actually, when you think about it. But anyway, and I'm trotting along, trying to quick walk. Quick walk doesn't work, so I do a little faster, kind of between a run and a trot, basically. And I hear the loudest, deepest holler and the loudest male whistle. A very specific kind of whistle, ladies. You know what I'm talking about? And it was Shinku. And I stop and I have a huge smile on my face. I turn around and I can't remember. Well, that's not true. I was going to say I can't remember the exact phrase. I can remember the exact phrase, but it's not appropriate to say it. And there were the two guys that had been watching me. And I think it's so funny now, but as a parent, every time I think of it, I cringe. It's cringeworthy because, and my dad spun around so fast and walked up to me, and oh my God. And my dad has a very, I didn't just get whistles. I got cat calls too. A couple of things were said. It wasn't just one, but a couple of things were said. I just remember the first one the most. And when my dad spun around, yeah, some bitch is gonna die. My dad was so pissed. He was livid. He was just livid. Yeah, and I'm hearing right now, that's my little girl. Nobody talks to my little girl like, that's my little girl. And he spun around so fast, and I didn't know he was coming. I didn't hear him until it was too late. And he's standing like that far away from me, behind me, but that far away from me. You got to remember, he's got a deep voice as it is. I mean, a very, very deep voice. And he let out the largest, loudest, booming voice he ever had, protective, and told them, that's my 14-year-old. I mean, he didn't just say that. He talk about what me dudes must have been commencing pants pooping time. Yeah. I think about it now. And those heads, I mean, they disappeared. they just and it's funny because I didn't recognize that until somebody else had mentioned it to me, I did not recognize that I should not have been able to hear mutterings and whisperings, what to me is what it sounded like, because of the distance between me and them, and I heard it. And part of it was because of my psychic hearing, and I was so pissed off at my dad. And he's like, we're going now. And I'm like, holy shit. My dad had never done anything like that with me at all. Fucks around and you find out. Yeah. Military voice. Yeah. I found out. Don't fuck with my dad. But at the same time, I understood then there's a combination of emotions that went on. I understood a number of factors. One, my dad had tried to kill my mom when I was real little. And at that given moment in time, I didn't remember any of that. All I remembered was he was my dad. I was with my dad, and he held a commanding presence. He had a very commanding presence. Almost like you didn't fuck with him. And for good reason. He was a big guy. And my stepdad was like that too. And and funny enough is my stepdad was military during the time that he was married to my mom. And my stepdad was very much a hardcore protector. And he was in what we would now call the SEALs. Only back then. I still don't know what his group was called, even to this day. I've been told a number of different things by military guys in the know that knew about those kind of names. And I'm like, I wish I could say that rings a bell, but I honestly, I don't know. My mom knew, and she tried to tell me, but she couldn't remember the full correct name. It was a very specific kind of name. And yeah, it's very possible it was that, Philip. But like I said, I'm not. Yeah, my stepdad did. My dad did not. My stepdad did, Shell. And I knew that, which is weird because, yet when I was growing up later on in life, I felt very much safe around my dad. But I also knew it was a very difficult situation between he and my mom. Extremely difficult situation. My mom, I mean, not even, I mean, even when he tried to go through the 12 steps, she didn't want to have anything to do with him. When my son was real little, my dad was going through 12 steps, and he was making amends to me, and he wanted to make amends to her. And I was like, I can tell Mom, but I'm not giving you her phone number. I'm not giving you any access. You're more than welcome to send a letter to her here if you would like to. And I can try to give it to her, but I can almost guarantee you she's not going to take it. Even if it were left on a counter or on a bed or on a table or what have you, it'll end up in the trash. When I did, I told her about it, and she was like, she lost her ever freaking living mind, and I get why. And I was right. So yeah, I don't remember 100%. Yeah, it was quite the thing. But yeah, my stepdad, my stepdad was ordered not to tell anyone about what they did, and he told his wife, which was my mom, something, and it was something that she never told me until she didn't tell anybody in the family. She didn't tell my mom, or my grandmother. She didn't tell her best friend. She didn't tell anybody. And when she finally told me was around 1990. God. Oh, must have been about 95, 96, 97, 98, somewhere in there. And I was absolutely horrified by what these men were ordered to do. It was truly freaking horrific. And it was parts of war, and it was, I can't even, I can't. And it affected him so badly that when he got back, he took off for 5 years and lived in the woods. And not his own biological family knew where he was. Shell said, I didn't know Gramps was intel until I was almost 50. Yeah. That's why I slept in the palmetto trees in the woods. They're like a cave. Even elementary school wouldn't go home till he passed out. Yeah. Black Dragon says, surprised he talked about it. It upset him so much, Black Dragon, that it traumatized him. It psychologically damaged him so badly that, and see, I asked military friends, there were military guys that I knew, ouch, when my son was growing up, when he was young, but when he was growing up, and I asked them, have you ever heard about guys from that time period who were, hang on a second, something on my keyboard. It's not okay. There we go. I don't know what the hell that is. Had you ever heard of guys in the military from that time period during war where they were allowed to come home for 4 days or a week or 2 weeks leave and then go back? And every one of them that I talked with basically told me special ops did that, what we would now call special ops. And that's how I found out. Mom did tell me about the kind of training my stepdad had. And both my biological dad and my stepdad stalked my mom and I for years. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine, Derek. Well, it's my life. It's so Shell says, so sorry, I feel for you. It's why I understand protection. It's why for me to say I don't give a shit anymore tells you how much I've dealt with in my life. Tells you, I mean, it speaks volumes. In the grand scheme of things, it truly speaks volumes. So, the almost, I mean, my dad changed. My dad went through recovery, he became a changed man. Yeah, he did a couple of really awful things, but he eventually, over time, he became a changed man. And he got into recovery, and he did the 12 steps, and I commend him for that. Granted, I don't agree with what he tried, and he knows it. I mean, he's my spirit guide, and I'm fine with that. And he's damn good at protecting me when he can. There are aspects that those on the other side that they can and cannot do. But I also know how far up his soul goes and does not go. So, yes, I've heard of it, but not in that way. Yes, Derek. Philip, MIA, in other words, missing in action. KIA, killed in action. Their military records normally get scrubbed. So the conversation in chat, they were talking about different things regarding people disappearing, not being allowed to come back. Yeah, there are certain ones that they get a new identity, they get a new passport, they move a certain location, and they basically don't exist anymore as that person. Um, and it used to get done quite often. I've had conversations with different retired military personnel that over the years, over a lot of years, like over 30 years, who have talked about that kind of stuff with me. So yeah, it does happen. Where they've said, yeah, I had a buddy who dot 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 dot. So it happens. Um, and those folks usually end up with handlers, what are called handlers, um, which is a whole another subject. And then you've got spies that are like that too. So, yeah, Amy says that kind of person is called a ghost by the military. And the IC, yeah, it depends on, okay, a ghost and spy are different than what I was referring to. Ghosts are typically considered spies based on what I have been consistently told over the years. So are spooks. Spooks are also AKA spies, AKA ghosts. So it's but the ones that were talked about in the chat, that's those are not the spooks. Those are not the ghosts or the spies. They just literally ghosts. Yeah, ghosts generally have worked on so many classified projects. They just change their identity. Yeah, government changes it. Yeah, and based on what I understand from finally popped. From what I understand from a number of different people. Sorry, hang on a minute. I'm trying to read chat, and I can't seem to multitask at the same time. Sorry, guys. They oh, have worked on so many classified projects. They just changed their identity. Okay, so yeah, the government can usually do it in couple days time, but I don't know what the current stuff is. I'm sure it could be done in a matter of hours, and they're gone, or an hour. I don't have a clue as to what the current is. I don't have any current information on that. Kind of don't care. Yeah, I knew people that did that. Derek, Nikki, you need to get an ergonomical sound chair. Yes, I know. Haunted him. Yeah. Yeah, see, Shell, that's the thing. My stepdad, it haunted him. He put my mom through a great deal of psychological pain and worry. They ended up divorcing, and they were deeply in love with each other. I mean, deeply in love. But he could not get over what the military had required of him. And based on what I understand, those military records, those specific, his team, based on what he told mom, those records are under lock and key. I mean, they're, and that's what he, they will never, basically, they'll never be released ever. They'll never, I mean, you can't even file a FOIA on them. You can't even, you have to know specific names. You have to, I mean, like really, really specific names for, not projects. And I don't mean incident reports. I mean, that's when they go out on a mission reports. You have to know the names of the the nicknames of the missions, and there's a bunch of things you have to have. So they'll never be given or allowed out of military hands. So yeah, it just makes things interesting. See, my stepdad would be in his 80s if he were still alive. I kept track of him. Starting in the mid 1990s, I kept track of if my stepdad was alive or dead. Found out that he had remarried and had 4 kids with his second wife. And then died in the early 2000s. I had to think about that. I couldn't think of the. I am trying to, and then trying to think of how to say it. But yeah, they and he considered me his daughter. It was like, and people thought I was his daughter. We looked so much alike. So it was just, it was an interesting life experience. I remember meeting his sister for the first time. There were a number of things that I remember about different aspects of his life. Um, yeah. Yeah. Very much loved him. It's funny because I saw him. Oh God, how old was I? I saw him when I was 12, 11 or 12. And I knew him. And he looked so different. That was the last time I actually saw him. But he tracked us. He tracked us all the way through to the Skagit Valley. And he kept track of me. I know that. I knew that he knew that I had a child, that I was married. And he was still very much in love with my mom, even though he had remarried and had kids. He wanted to know how we were. And I think if my mom knew that. So not only did I have ETs going on, I'm not answering that one, Derek, publicly. Hit me up privately. We'll have a conversation. Yeah, I'm not going there publicly. I was wondering when that was going to come up. Anyway, so Mom, as soon as we moved to a different area, I knew I was watched. When we moved outside of Seattle, I knew that I was watched. I was watched all the time. We had different neighbors, lived in a giant mobile home park, a gigantic mobile home park that was also a motel and resort. And there were people coming and going all the time. And there were a group of us kids riding bikes all over the place. And it's funny because now that land got turned into a YMCA, got turned into a gigantic set of apartments and condos. And you would never know that park was there. So the pictures that I've got, that's it. That's it of that place. And it's funny because the houses on the edge of that area are still there. The weird walkway, they left the weird ass fucking walkway. I'm like, wow, it's just yeah, Shell says ninja, like, yeah, my stepdad wanted to be known that he was watching. And then when he didn't want anybody known, you would never I mean, you talk about a spook. That was my life. And the funny thing is that I knew when he was around and when he wasn't. I could feel him. I didn't understand it, but I could feel him. I always knew when he was around. There was a time where when we lived in the mobile home park, we lived in a 2-story. It was an old converted barn. Hey, Jazzy. There was a 2-story converted barn that was converted into apartments, 2 apartments, and the upstairs had 3 bedrooms. The upstairs apartment had 3 bedrooms, and our apartment had 3 bedrooms and a gigantic fucking living room and an old, a very old-fashioned styled kitchen, very large kitchen. And I had the front living room bedroom. And there were times I knew when my stepdad was around and watching me between a mobile home and a building that housed. It was a stone building that housed public showers, a laundry room, and it housed 3 major things, and I can't think of what the third thing is right now. It had bathroom, showers, laundry room. There's something else, but the showers and the bathroom were together on both the men's and the women. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that he would stand, because there were a set of bushes. He would be by the bushes, and I would see shoes there, and they were his shoes. And I always noticed things like that. I mean, I always paid attention. I always had my drapes open. And back then I had not a tape player, what the hell? A record player. I had a record player with 2 speakers. And I would play my records and I would dance in the middle of my room. Little kid dance. And I'd stop and I'd feel this presence, and if it wasn't E.T. I was feeling, it was yeah, very true, Hollow. So it was kind of an issue. And I knew he was watching. There were also teen boys that liked to watch, and their shoes were different. They didn't always watch, but mostly rode around on their bike and sat on their bike and watched from the walking path, the cement walking path. My stepdad was in the bushes because you could see his shoes. And he tried to hide it. It's funny because he tried to hide him, but they couldn't hide him anyway. Yeah, I was an only kid, so I didn't have 3 brothers. I didn't have any brothers. Although I was supposed to. But that didn't happen. So, son would have had an uncle. I know this. I know what the child would have been. It would have been a boy. So. Okay. So, that's it's just a life story. Very lengthy number of different life stories. I'm scrolling back up to see there's a lot of things that I missed in chat. So just know that I have not forgotten. Yeah. Come on, fingers. Well, you turned out awesome. Thank you. Don't feel that way sometimes. Well, a lot of times I don't. I'm the oldest, a black sheep, throwback to the ancestors. I have a cousin who feels that they're black sheep family, and I'm like, no, I've never thought of them that way. Although I didn't appreciate the sisters comparing the cousins, their grandchildren, to each other all the time. That was something that my cousin and I definitely did not appreciate between the two sisters, even though we loved our grandmothers and loved our aunts, our great aunts. That was not cool. Um, but families do weird shit like that. So 10,000. Hey, Joe. Welcome, dear. But then I lost my binoculars. Joe. Oh, dear. Oh, honey. Anyway, I thought Dingleberry. Oh, speaking of Dingleberry, when Keith was talking about the 25-foot tall, I don't know if he's still in chat because we went from 10 down to, or from 11 down to 10, and ouch, from finally there it goes again, it popped again, and then down to oh, there you are. Okay, you are still in chat, and then down to 9. So shall enlighten us. Let me know if and when you'd like to lighten the mood with a family dad embarrassing moment. Oh God, is it anything like mine? I turned so many shades of red, and man, did I stomp back. Stomp back. That was, yeah, go for it if you want. I'll read it. Type it in. Type it in a couple of times. Just put 1, parenthesis, and then type, and then 2, and so that we know that it's still part of the story. Yeah. So life is interesting. Very interesting sometimes. Um, that and my mom did had a newspaper dealership, and that was really rather interesting. Um, I wasn't these thin, petite model girls. Um, hey, Beth. Hi. Oh, I'm glad to see you here. Ooh, okay. I don't want anyone. Made the comment. Okay. Like that, and didn't want anyone but the sperm donor and med staff in the room of giving birth. I get home, and emailed my dad to me and 350 others with the surgery light shining on the vajay like a tractor beam. My dad. spread eagle. He was behind me, took the picture over my shoulder when they handed my son to me. Yes, and he sent it. Oh. Oh. Oh, Shell. If you want a visual, my parents look like Fred and Wilma Flintstone. Oh, bullshit. No, they don't. No. Joe. Sunday cartoons in the newspaper. I remember newspapers. Yeah. See, um, yeah, they had. My mom had a newspaper dealership with the Seattle PI, and I gotta tell you, there was an individual, and I will not say his name. Oh my God, Creep City. He was a specific man at the time who was, I can't say what he was because it'll give away the name. Shit. Anyway, Creeptacular. Joe. Oh my God, Joe. Absolutely true. Dad was huge. He had arms bigger than my legs, and Mom had a little tiny waist and was hot. Right on. Oh my God. Parents are interesting, aren't they? Yep. Yep. Saturday cartoons, Sunday church TV. Yep. When the TV channels actually gave a fuck about what the kids saw. So all toy commercials on Saturday. Yep. God, you guys. That's funny. That's really funny. Um, Silly putty on the cartoons. Yep. God. Oh my God. You guys. You guys crack me up. Anyway, so you got a bunch of stories tonight. You go back and watch the ones you missed. Because it's going to take me all weekend, even for, I don't know, 3 hours and 15 minutes into this. Imagine if your kids had to play with pickup sticks. Oh, God, I remember those. Hated those. I'd rather play with the Ouija board. Oh my God. Give us a woo story, Nikki. Well, if my son is still in here, he could confirm this one. Okay, Joe. Lancelot Link had to have been thought up by guys on heroin. Oh my God. Yeah. Um, so the one my son can confirm. Yeah, he's all right. He just wants me to see it. It's okay. That, and it may have gotten stuck on. I don't know why we're shouting. His phone may have gotten stuck on all caps. So I'm not worrying. Don't worry about it. But okay, so okay, I accept that. That's good. So we're trying to figure out what was going on with this light, not a light switch, an outlet in the bedroom, and what panel it was on, because we had two different electrical panels for the whole house, or for the main level and the basement level. We had a large, very large 1919 Craftsman style house, 3-story. And so we had the main level and the basement level. Completely refinished basement. And shutting on and off the power, trying to figure out at the box. I think Joe might have heard this story before. I don't think anybody else has. Or maybe you have. It's been a while since I've talked about it. Your middle brother always cheated at Monopoly and got caught? Oh, that's funny. So, here I am. I got my glasses on, which are metal. No, I did tell this story. So I don't know. Many weeks ago, I've told this story. So you talk about woo. Here you goes with some ghosties with the mosties. Well, not just ghosties, but angels with the most. And so I've got a screwdriver, long-handled screwdriver in one hand with a plastic end, and a electric detector. I can't think of what it's called, a wire detector, in the other hand. Another one I can't remember playing is Monopoly. Oh, honey, I got Monopoly. We can play anytime. No one let me get my bullhorn and stick in my ear. Shit. Oh, Mousetrap. Oh my God, I remember Mousetrap. Oh, matter of fact, I was going to say, do I still have Mousetrap? Yeah, I still have Mousetrap. Oh my God. I've still got all, I don't have Operation anymore. Depending upon the company, it could be overrated, that's for sure. The game called Life. No, I don't have Life. I played it at all my friends, but I don't have the game of Life. Yeah, I got rid of a lot of them. Oh, God, what's with the Poppin' Fresh? Somebody just said Poppin' Fresh. Trouble. Yep. I got trouble right here in Little City. Anyway, so back to the story. Mousetrap Operation or Life either must have been deprived. Hungry Hippos, played that at friend's house. Simon, oh my God, yes. And Connect 4, still have Connect 4. The kids loved it. Up until a certain age. Oh God, Tic-Tac-Toe via beanbags. You remember that? Anyway, okay, so back to, can we just time travel back? No shit. So sorry. So the story. Anyway, so I've got electric meter in one hand, screwdriver in another hand. I don't remember if I'm in a pair of tennis shoes and my multimeter. Yes, thank you, Joe. And I don't remember if I'm in slippers or if I'm in my tennis shoes, which would have grounded me. Either way, somebody's down in the basement going through the electric box and hollering back and forth. And while they're doing that, I'm checking the outlet to see which one is which. Because what we found out was that on certain ones, you'd have the upper part of the plug-in was on one switch and another plug-in was on another. And I was like, how can that be? So we got every one of them fixed. So this was the last one we were working on. And lo and frickin' behold, I get told that the power is off, and I go to use the meter on it. It shows it's off, and I don't remember if I was told that they were turning the electric back on, but I was in the process of changing something out with the screwdriver. And the screwdriver was attached to a metal screw. And something instinctively told me to move my hand back. And I'm like, no, I'm doing this screw. So I'm having this conversation in my head, and it's not me. It's me and a spirit guide. Only I didn't register it as my dad. It was somebody else. Finally it popped. Sorry, guys. And I'm literally yelling in my head, be quiet, or something to that effect. And they are like, now, get away, now. And I got so frustrated because this had been going on, about a minute by this point. And I literally had the just about that far away, maybe 2 inches. Yeah, about 2 inches, about 2 inches away. I literally had the screwdriver about 2 inches away, and I hear a flip of the switch, and so I take the screwdriver away, but I put the meter up to it, and a gigantic arc, and I'm talking, my face is like this far away from it, so we're talking 12 inches, okay? Between 8 and 12 inches away. And I basically was almost electrocuted. And I scream because I literally see this high-balling, arching arc of electricity. And it wasn't just high coming up and going down. It was, there wasn't just one, there were two of them. There was one that went up, and then there was one that was coming straight at my face. And I literally was going back, and as I'm going back, there was this gigantic white flash between me and the electrical outlet. And mind you, I'm in front of a window. I'm like in between a bed and a window, and underneath the window is this outlet. And basically, they had downstairs, without saying that they were flipping the switch, had flipped the switch. During this time, I was in my 40s. And When I screamed, my son comes running from his bedroom and is running. It's a long corridor hallway from his bedroom to my bedroom. And he's running. I think he was 21 at the time. Somewhere between 19 and 21 at the time. I can't remember at this second. Or maybe 22. I don't remember. Anyway. And he comes running because I did such a specific kind of scream. He knew it was life and death. I mean, it was that kind of a scream. And he comes running, and as he's hitting my door, he told me what he saw. He said he saw a great big white ball of light and blue, and then a gigantic blue orb. And what I felt at that given moment in time was an angel. I literally had an angel come between me and only that, and that was my first time I had registered what an angel felt like. I literally had, you want to talk about woo, they saved my life. I'm not frickin' joking when I say that. That angel saved my life. I don't know who it is. And I got really, really angry. And then it hit. I mean, the whole thing just hit. The emotion of it, everything. And then I was thanking the angel, and I was thanking God, and I was thanking Jesus, and thank my son for coming running. And I mean, it was this, and it was weird because the week building up to that, I knew psychically something very, very serious was going to happen, and it would put one of us in the hospital. And I even talked about it. I talked about it with different friends. Whether they remember that or not, I don't know. I certainly frickin' hope so. Because it would give validation to the story. But to have my son come running up, seeing this great big ball. I mean, he said it was a gigantic ball of light. And then by the time he's hitting the doorway of my bedroom, this great big blue orb. And he said it was very defined blue. It was very, very specific blue. So there were two, I think, based on what he saw, what he witnessed, and what I experienced, I believe it was an angel and some other form of angel immediately following, like fractions of a fraction of a second. And I'm wearing metal glasses. That fucking arch was coming up, but when it was coming back down, it was headed towards my glasses and my heart. I could feel it. The spike, and it was bright red. The second one was this orangish red, and it was coming straight. It was coming straight at my face. And if I hadn't have, I can't remember which way I moved. I moved off to my right, I think. It's been too long, but whichever way I moved, no, it did. I moved off to my right. No, yeah, it was off to my right because that was the fastest way I could move. It literally went over my shoulder. So I think the blue probably diffused that, and the arch, I think, is personally, I think that big. The white one was described to me as that big of a white orb. The blue one was about as big as a basketball. Based on everything, I think when the thing was coming straight at me and then arched up, I think what had happened was that the arch going up was the angel. Because the next one following came straight at me, and if I had not have moved, and it was almost like it was a combination of instinct combined with something physically moving me, and I don't know how else to explain it any other way. I don't feel like it was the angel that pulled me. I feel like it whatever was in that blue is what pulled me. Oh no, that's pretty. Well, that's actually really pretty. He's got a walking path going with a bunch of trees in the background. Anyway, oh no! I don't want to rip another skirt. There we go. Roll over your skirt. You can't pull your skirt up when you need it, and then you rip a skirt. That's always fun. That's a pisser, actually. Anyway, so, yeah, that's a woo story for you. Yeah, Beth says that's something you never forget. No, I don't think I'll ever forget it. It was so, no pun intended. I always say it was so shocking, and it's not pun intended. It's literally completely shocking. It was like, and FYI, that house was 220 volts. I mean, it was the full force of, I mean, and we lived right across the street from a professional electrician. Knew their family. Even when I was a little girl, knew their family. They knew my family for a lot of fucking years. Pardon my language, but they knew our family for a long time. Knew the house for a long time. And I asked both of them, father and son, and I said what, because both of them became, the son became an electrician. I asked both of them. I said, so if that had hit me, what are we looking at? Your funeral. I said, it really would have killed me. Yeah. It would have put you in the hospital, probably in a coma, because of the way you've described it. If the other one had even hit my heart, had hit my chest, if it had hit my glasses, and it could have melted the metal straight into it. Yeah, I got told a lot of different things. So take electricity very freaking seriously. And that's my experience. Talk to electricians. Make sure that electricity is I got apologies up one side and down the other. And I get that. I totally freaking get that. It's a hell of a learning experience for all of us. Am I mad? No. But it's, like I said, one hell of a fucking story. And I'm extremely, extremely thankful to be alive. So when I say I've gone through a lot in my life, I'm not fucking joking. A lot of people go through a lot of shit in their lives. And they're not joking either. But when you have something like that, or you've been, like when I was a child, I was in 2 head-on car accidents. And that was back in the 70s, and you never, God, that's a gorgeous picture. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, that's something I would love to have up on my mantle. Wow. Actually, that's something easy I could paint. Wow. I don't know which one they're doing, but damn, that's beautiful. Anyway. Yeah, electricians that touch hot wires to test which ones are hot. That's actually extremely stupid to do. No electrician in their right mind would do that. So yeah, with you got the two fathers stalking and then you got the one parent trying to kill the other, and you got the ETs, and then you got different abuses, and um, I'm very fortunate. I've got a right mind. Um, that's why I'm not taking this bullshit lightly from the DAS hats, and yet at the same time I'm not doing oh my god you know I've been through too much shit. Um, and as an advocate, I'd been stalked. I've dealt with this shit. Uh, no, whatever. And then you got the ghosts and the woo woo, and in many ways, I've had a very, very good life, and in many ways, I've had a very bizarre fucking life. So you take what you can and toss the rest, and I'm very thankful for my life. I'm even though I've gone through all of that shit, and I've gone through the counseling, and um, you got to stay pretty even keel. And you gotta laugh, baby. You gotta laugh. You gotta have fun. You gotta create joy. You gotta do those things in order not to just survive, but to do more than just survive, to live. Create joy. Figure out how to create your own peace. Learn to forgive. Forgiving is not easy. I am here to frickin' tell you. There are times I still go through not wanting to forgive the perp that I had. But I have done it. Wasn't easy. Took me vast frickin' years. The childhood perp. Actually, I've got a couple of childhood perps, but the major one, yeah. Part of forgiving is part of releasing it. It's not doing it for them, it's doing it for you. It's allowing you to move forward. Process the next bag of garbage. Figure out, because I'm here to tell you, you don't want to take that shit onto the other side. You want to learn to let it go, move it on. So, yeah, Shell. She says, good for you. No, it's not. In other words, no, it's not easy. Did it help you with forgiving yourself for imperfections too? It did for me. Yeah, it did. Because I learned that it was regarding the teenage perp when I was a child. It wasn't my fault. You have to make that understanding. You can logically understand it. the hell are you talking about, Derek? Excuse me. So yeah, it's not just about you. You have to work through it, move through it. It's not just about forgiving the other person. You have to forgive. Yeah, she's right. You have to forgive yourself. In order to move forward and to move on. Because you have to, it's part of your process. And there are some people I've come across that do not have a concept of an understanding of that. And they're just always angry. And it's like, Bubba, you know, if you keep holding on to this issue and keep doing the resentment thing and the wanting of vengeance and the want, hello, I went through a lifetime where I performed vengeance to the nth possible degree there was at that time in the 1800s. I also know what it cost my soul. This is why it's not worth my soul's, I want to say consequences, but that's not right. It's not worth my soul's future lifetimes harm to go for vengeance on the asshats. I know there are other ways. And will they get their comeuppance? Oh, you better fucking believe they will. Will it be by me? No. No. If I'm attacked again, do I have every right to protect myself? You better fucking believe I do. And I will. Those are their natural consequences. A person defending themselves for an attack, yeah, that's not vengeance. That's protection. That's defending yourself. There's a difference. Do I know how to do that? Yeah. But am I going to go after them? No. You're not worth it. You're a waste of existence in my eyes. The kind of shit you're performing and doing on other living human beings, you're not even worth the time. You're not even a peon. You're worse than a peon. You're worse than an amoeba. So, you know, and quite honestly, I don't have to worry about it because I know it'll be taken care of. So, and I'm not saying how I know. So, it's not on me. It's not a weight on my shoulders. Am I angry over that stuff? Yeah. Will I eventually have to forgive them? Yeah. Will I be able to move on from that? Yeah. It's going to take me some time. But I don't have to hold on to it in a vengeful way. Yeah, scales of justice will be done. Liberty, yep. Scales of justice will be done. They will be had before I die. I know that. So. And quite honestly, they should be terrified. Now that I will fucking laugh over. I will laugh my ass over. And that's probably not the wisest thing for me to be doing, is to be laughing over knowing the different aspects that will be done. It's their comeuppance, and it's what they deserve. Because I'm not the only one that they've been doing this to. So, c'est la vie. It's just the way it goes. Just the way it is. Anyway, that's it for you. Wow. Lots being talked in the chat. If you're interested, take a read, a gander. Anyway, we're at 3 hours, 47 minutes, and I'm ready. We've only got, 2 or 3 really chatting in the chat right now. So, and there's 8. There's been between 8 and 7 and 10 off and on. Wow. I literally am psychically hearing. How do I describe this? I'm getting a psychic hit. I'm in the process of psychically receiving some information. So we're going to end on the psychic information as soon as it gets done. What is this? Is this an earthquake that's coming? What the hell is this? It's like a form of earthquake or a form of explosions. What am I hearing? It's like a psychic imprint or a psychic. God, what the hell is that? And it's big. Whatever it is, it's big. Where's it going? What do you mean here? You mean Washington State? Do you mean U.S.A? What do you mean? U.S.A. Okay. I guess that's all I'm going to get for right now. Derek, cat scratch fever, meow. You hear a cat, don't you? No, it's not a cat. What I keep hearing are like, it's like when you're walking on a. It's like when you walk on a deck, on a wood deck, and you hear clomp, 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 but they're footsteps. It's the sound of footsteps is what I'm hearing, but it's not footsteps. It's like clomp, 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 and it's like gigantic footsteps, but it's done in such a way that I'm literally feeling it in the ground, but yet it's also during each clump, it's like an explosion. It reminds me of a giant. You know, you take a step down, when the giant taking a step down, and it's like, that's not the right sound. But anyway, it's, wow, okay. So I'm just trying to figure out what this is. Oh, I'm gonna do a shower before bed and get my hair done and get all this oil off. Yeah, there's a lot of things like that, Shell. I used to be that way, Shell. Ridiculously passionate about advocating. I totally understand that. I don't do a lot of advocating anymore unless it's for myself. Yeah, Gatling gun. Kamehameha way. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Meditation PowerPoint. Wow. From the dragon, Nikki. Oh, got it. Okay. Okay, on that note, I am going to say goodnight. Definitely need to go to Hawaii. Sorry, I literally saw the word Hawaii pop up and out. Yeah, I am. It's time for bed. Actually, it's time for a shower, then bed. Scrub all this oil off me. Most of it's soaked in, but there are spots on my head and neck that are just driving me nuts. Anyway, as your profession, yeah, I used to be an advocate, so been there, done that. Not registered with anybody, but I get it. East Coast, Washington. East. Yeah, I think you mean Easton, Washington. Anyway, all right. Much love to y'all. Take very good care. Like, subscribe, and share, please. Derek, time for late horror show. Old time radio. Yeah, used to do that too. All right. I will for sure be on Wednesday. Wednesday evening. Technically Thursday morning, 12:15 a.m. So anyway, take good care of yourselves. Stay in the positive. Work on healing. Create joy. Create positivity. Love when you can. Walk away when you have to. Bye, guys. Take good care. Good night.